Hi and welcome to this month's vlog. This month's vlog is all about vlogging. I have been vlogging for UCA for the past year, which is insane to think of in that sense. However, I have been asked to give you guys my top tips on how to vlog, share my story on how I began vlogging and discovered vlogging, and just tell you guys what equipment I use and how I edit my videos. Okay, so I started vlogging in 2012, which was back when jump cuts were still in fashion, which is why I use them all the time. It's how I got used to speaking, and now speaking in very long sentences is just a bit weird for me. I didn't have a camera, so I used my webcam. I edited on Windows Movie Maker. I didn't know what to speak about. I didn't even have custom thumbnails because they didn't exist. This was back when you had to be a partner to get the banners above your channels. This is how long ago I'm speaking. I had no chemistry with the camera. I didn't know what I was talking about, meaning I didn't have any enthusiasm about what I was talking about. I had copyrighted music in the background, and at one point my school found them. People in my school found my videos, and it was absolutely mortifying because they were awful and it was just ridiculously bad. So I wiped that YouTube channel from the face of the planet because it was absolutely awful, and made a new one which I remember dubbing my professional channel, which was absolutely not professional in any sense of the word. I had, however, upgraded my kit. I was using my Olympus stills camera that also filmed in 1080p, which was just like a bit of a perk. I hadn't intended it for that reason. I didn't have a reversible screen, it didn't have focus ring, it was literally a stills camera that happened to also film video, so I used that instead. The downside was I still didn't have anything interesting to talk about, so it was just me babbling to a camera for 5 minutes. So for some reason people didn't watch it. Who'd have thought? When I made that channel I had every intention of filming every month. However, when I realised that my videos were really bad when I wasn't interested in what I was talking about, I decided to wait until I had something interesting to make a video about to film. However, that just made it so that I never made videos because I didn't lead a very interesting life, I guess. That's when I started making vlogs for my A-level media, because I found it a lot easier to document my creative progress through vlogs and videos and just like link to everything by pointing to it. So I started doing that and I really enjoyed it. And that's when I realised that maybe educational videos are what I should be making, because I know a lot about it because I'm in the education system and I can help people, so I may as well talk about that. Today my camera is a Canon 70D with a standard 18-55mm kit lens. So I didn't get this because I'm a vlogger, I got this because I'm a film student and I needed a DSLR camera to bring to uni with me. Don't go out and buy one of these cameras if you're just starting out vlogging. It will be a complete waste of money. Just start out on your phone. Phones have front-facing cameras now that are really good quality. Use that, use your webcam, and use your standard editing software. I personally use Premiere Pro now just because that's what I was trained in when I got to university and it's what I find easier now. But back then, as I said, I was using Windows Movie Maker and I was using iMovie. Just start with the basics and work your way up. So before you start investing money in it, you know that it's something you want to pursue. If you just go out and buy all these like huge kits, studio lights and fancy cameras and then don't like it, you're then stuck with a studio worth of lights and a fancy camera you're never going to use. So start from the bottom and work your way up. Something you also have to factor in is lighting. Try and use natural light if possible. As I said, don't go out and buy studio lights. They're a complete waste of money if this is just a hobby. I personally just use a lamp. You can probably tell I just use a lamp, but you can still see me, so that kind of, it evens it out a little bit. Also, I normally have fairy lights in the background, but I broke them, so kind of ironic so close to Christmas. Be as enthusiastic as possible about what you're talking about, because if you aren't enthusiastic, your audience is definitely not going to be enthusiastic about it. And finally, practice. Practice makes perfect with vlogging. I know so many people who thought vlogging was really easy until they sat down to do it and realised how hard making the connection with the camera is. Because what's happening right now is I'm talking to you. I'm talking to you, a person sat at home on a computer or a phone watching my video. However, right now for me, you don't exist. And creating that connection with someone who doesn't exist is actually really difficult. So practice, and also find the balance between talking normally and being a bit theatrical and moving your hands about and talking in a weird voice. I don't talk like this all the time. It shows enthusiasm, and I don't know, it feels a lot more natural talking like this in front of a camera than it does talking to you in person. So if I sound different, that's the reason, if you ever see me in person. Also, on a side note, your housemates will think you are absolutely crazy just because they hear you talking to yourself at the end of every month. It's fine, they get used to it, honest. And I guess that's it from me. If you have any questions, as usual, just leave them down in the comments and I'll get back to you as quickly as possible. And I guess that's everything. Have a lovely Christmas and I'll see you guys next month. Bye now.